Good morning, ma. In previous class, we have seen how to write the names of the coordination compounds under the heading nomenclature of coordination compounds, and I gave the homework also. Now let us see how to just go with that homework problems, ma. Example 9.3, example 9.2. All the questions I explained. Now example 9.3. I explained ABC. Next we will go for D. Okay, we will go for D. Now let us see what is the D question they give. CONH3 5 CO3 Cl. CONH3 5 CO3 Cl. Okay, now let us see. This compound has, this is the positive group, means first we have complex ma, after that we have chlorine. Chlorine is the counter ion. And this is the complex. This is positive complex. Is it correct? Because first it is present with the square bracket na. This is positive complex. In positive complex, cobalt is present. This is cobalt. This CO is nothing but, CO3 is nothing but carbonate. Okay, it is a negative ligand. Okay, this is carbonate. This is amine. Alphabetical order. This is amine. How many amine groups are there? 5. So pentamine. This is CO3, carbonato. It is a negative ligand. That CO3 is a negative ligand. Okay, so carbonato. This is central metal atom which is present in positive complex. Positive complex means its name will be same as it is, cobalt. In bracket we have to write the oxidation number, correct? Let oxidation number of cobalt is X. NH3, neutral ligand. Neutral ligand means 0. CO3, negative ligand with charge -2. So 1 into -2. Outside chlorine is there. What is the charge present on chlorine? -1 is equal to 0. X -2 -1 is equal to 0. X is equal to +3. What is the charge present on cobalt? Na? +3. So I am writing here 3, Roman number 3. Cobalt 3. Outside chloride. So now see to the compound name, pentamine, carbonato. CO3 means carbonate, but it is negative ligand na, carbonato. Cobalt 3, chloride. How did we get cobalt charge 3? X plus 5 into 0, 1 into -2, 1 into -1 is equal to 0. Okay, ma? This is about D. Next, we will see E. Hg, CO, SCN 4 times. Okay, this is SCN minus ma. What is that? SCN minus. Thiocyanide. Name of this one is thiocyanide. Negative charge -1. Mercury general oxidation number +1. Stable oxidation number +1. So outside it is behaving like counter ion. Actually, very rarely these elements will be behaving like counter ion. D block elements will be behaving like counter ions. Okay, now this is +1. 1 into +1 plus how many cobalt are there? 1 cobalt. 1 into X. Let oxidation number of cobalt is X. Next, plus 4 into -1 is equal to 0. Total oxidation number 0. Okay, +1 plus X minus 4 is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. X is equal to +3. X is equal to +3. This is the oxidation number of cobalt. Now name. First it is contained by, this is positive and this is negative complex. First it is contained by positive ion here. Here this is negative ion, negative complex. Okay, starts with mercury. Mercury. Actually in bracket they mentioned 1 also, but actually no need. It is a counter ion, actually no need. But okay, no problem. This is negative complex. Tetrathiocyanate. Cyanato or cyano. Okay na? One small thing, na? This is not thiocyanide, cyanate. Sorry for this. Name of this SCN minus is THIOCYANATE. THIOCYANATE, thiocyanate. Okay, now mercury 1, this is contained by tetra. Thiocyaneto. 4 thiocyanates are there. So tetrathiocyaneto, cobalt. This is present in negative complex, na? So cobaltate. Cobaltate in bracket +3 means 3, Roman number 3. Now see the name, mercury 1, tetrathiocyaneto, cobaltate 3. This is the name. Okay. They gave the in-text questions also. Okay, ma'am. That in-text questions once you can try. Solutions I will give later. Okay. First we will go through bonding and coordination compounds explanation. Okay. This is like a small practice we have done. Names, all these things. And one more thing. Some students, even if they get doubts, they are making call and they are asking. Very good. Really. Some students they are asking doubts through WhatsApp. Very good. This is very really nice. Okay. Like this, continue asking doubts. One small thing is Hariharan asked one thing. That is, what about manganese? Like some other metals also he asked. Okay. Suppose manganese, D block elements, some more metals, he asked the doubts. Okay, na? Whatever it might be, if they give the compound with respect to others, we can find the unknown oxidation number. We can find the unknown oxidation number. And one more thing, already in the starting of the class I told this is a special property of D block elements. Okay. One small clarity I will give about that. After that we will continue with the next topic. Okay. Before that, I hope you are clear about all these names. Okay. Now before starting off this coordination compounds, means at the time of introduction, I gave small introduction part regarding periodic classification table, periodic table. Like this, roughly we can draw the periodic table. Left side we have, actually this total periodic table is classified into 4 blocks: S, P, D and F. This total periodic table contains left side S, right side P, middle D block elements, and here F block elements. S, P, D, F block elements. These D block elements, they have this specialty to form coordination compounds. Okay, why they will form coordination compounds? Now next topic is there, na? The topic you will get clarity. No problem at all. Okay, now S, P, D and F. Okay, this is S block. S block contains 2 groups. P block contains 6 groups. D block contains 10 groups. Like this, groups, total number of groups, no? 2 plus 10, 12, 12 plus 6, 18. Okay. One small thing. Hari Arnoldi, I think he asked, what is the stable oxidation state of manganese, cobalt, like that? Okay. Only one clarity for you, ma. This one, in volume 1 itself, we have 8 chapter under the name D and F block elements. D and F block elements. In the D and F block elements, group wise, okay, what are the stable oxidation states? Top to bottom, which stable oxidation state will be, which stability of oxidation state will be increased, like that, everything we will study. Okay, in this coordination compounds, actually, that much stable oxidation state remembrance, all these things, no need. Presently, you have to find oxidation number of the metal. Is it correct? Central metal. To find the oxidation number of central metal atom, others, ligands, any counterions if you have, those oxidation numbers if you are able to remember, those are enough. Okay, depending on the compound, sometimes Fe will show +2 oxidation number, sometimes Fe will show +3 oxidation number. Okay, which one we have to remember? That one no need to remember. They will give the compound, according to that compound we can do calculation. That is not a problem at all. Okay, one more small example I will tell, and I will go through next concept. Shall I go through? Okay, let us see. This is clarity. Actually, how to remember this stable oxidation state, that is not a matter here. Even in D and F block elements also, how to remember that one I will say. That is not the big issue here actually. Okay, na? Are you okay, ma? Okay, let us see now. K4 FeCN6. In this, we don't know the oxidation number of iron. Whether it is +2 or +3, we don't know. But it will show 2 oxidation numbers majorly. +2, +3. Then what we have to write? Simple. Potassium oxidation number is +1. Potassium every time it will show +1 in combined state. Okay. So how many are there? 4. 4 into +1. Plus iron we don't know. Let it be X. How many are there iron particles? 1. 1 into X. Plus cyanide, Cn minus. That one you have to remember. HCN is there, na? Hydrogen cyanide. From that H plus and Cn minus. Like that Cn minus you can remember. Okay. H2CO3 is there. CO3 minus 2. H2SO4 is there. 2 hydrogens are removed, then SO4 minus 2. Like this, HOH. In this H plus, OH minus. Like that, with respect to hydrogen, we can remember that other things. Oxidation number of them. Okay, ma? Now, cyanide, Cn minus, na? How many are there? 6. 6 into -1 is equal to total 0. So, +4 plus X minus 6 is equal to 0. X minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to +2. See, we got oxidation number of iron. It is +2. What did I say? Iron can show 2 oxidation numbers, +2 or +3. Now here it shows +2. In some compounds it will show +3 also. No problem. So according to the given compound, we have to identify the central atom, central metal atom. What is the central metal atom? The central metal atom is the metal which is present in square bracket. Okay, outside the square bracket, whatever it is there, that is counter ion. Okay, ma? This is about nomenclature. Okay, by doing furthermore practice, you will understand, no problem. Try to do in-text questions. Okay, after doing that in-text questions, I will give some more examples from outside. You can practice them. Okay, ma? Meanwhile, just first go through all these things clearly. Okay, next. Next one is, actually isomerism is there. Okay, under isomerism, here also again two types are there. Structural isomerism, stereoisomerism. Okay, structural isomerism again 4 types. Stereoisomerism again 2 types. Same like organic chemistry. Geometrical isomerism, optical isomerism. Okay, already we have completed in organic chemistry. Na? So with correlation to organic chemistry we will study here. But the thing is, if you want to study that isomerism, okay, we need to know the structures. But what is the order they followed in textbook, I don't know correctly. They gave, after completion of this topic, nomenclature, immediately they give isomerism. But my preference is, first we will complete the structures of coordination compounds. Okay, ma? Structures of coordination compounds we will complete. After that we will go through that isomerism in the last. So the topic total isomerism we will see in the last of this coordination compounds better, because in that isomerism we need to discuss again structures. First, if you complete the structures, it is better. Okay, ma? So our next side heading is structures of coordination compounds. This is the side heading for us. Our next side heading. Now, coming to the structures of coordination compounds, first scientist Werner, we completed Werner theory. Initially itself, in the introduction part itself, we completed Werner theory. Okay, first scientist Werner, he tried to explain the structures of coordination compounds. Okay, in that journey only, he started with primary valency, secondary valency. After that, primary valency is ionizable. Okay, primary valency is ionizable in water, secondary valency is non-ionizable in water. Like that he tried to explain, because he has done experiment with that AgNO3, and what is the amount of AgCl formed. According to that he identified which chlorine is getting ionized. If chlorine is present in square bracket, it is not getting ionized. If chlorine is present outside as counter ion, then it is getting ionized. Like that he tried to explain something. But even though he tried to explain, some drawbacks are present for Werner's theory. Okay, those drawbacks are, first one, he didn't explain the directional property, directional bond characteristic of coordination compounds. He didn't explain the directional bond characteristic of coordination compounds. Okay, actually these coordination compounds contain directional bond property. Directional bond is nothing but covalent bond. Okay, how that covalent bond is formed, that one was not explained by Werner. Okay, ma. Next, second one, didn't explain some peculiar magnetic and optical properties of coordination compounds. Coordination compounds will show magnetic properties like paramagnetic, diamagnetic, like that. At the time I will see. Remaining theories are there, those theories successfully explain what about the characteristic, all those things. At the time I will say what is meant by magnetic nature also. No problem at all. Okay. Now it couldn't explain the directional bond characteristic property of coordination compounds. Coordination compounds contain directional bonds. Okay. The directional bond characteristic was not explained by Werner. Next. Didn't explain magnetic and optical properties of coordination compounds. And third one is why some peculiar why only some elements, some special elements, they are able to form coordination compounds. That one was not explained. Why first group elements, potassium, okay, calcium, like that elements, why they are not involved in coordination compounds? That reason. First means potassium, magnesium, first group elements, potassium, lithium, potassium, sodium, okay, rubidium, cesium, like that elements are there. Second group elements, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Okay, these elements, they are not able to form coordination compounds. P block elements are also not able to form coordination compounds. D block elements are able to form coordination compounds. Why these D block elements only they are able to form coordination compounds? That explanation was not, that reason was not explained by Werner. Okay, to explain these reasons and structures of coordination compounds which are involved with the directional bond property, okay, some theories they try to explain. Those theories are first one VBT, valence bond theory. Second one CFT, crystal field theory. Next, third one LFT, Ligand field theory. Fourth one MOT, molecular orbital theory. So these theories they try to explain clearly the drawbacks of one theory drawback was explained by another theory. Okay, suppose valency bond theory tried to explain Werner's theory, drawbacks of Werner's theory. CFT tried to explain the drawbacks of VBT. Like our atomic structure, different models we have now. Next, LFT tried to explain the drawbacks of CFT. MOT tried to explain the drawbacks of LFT. Like that, one theory it wants to explain the drawbacks of another theory. But here, in our 12th standard, even in NEET, IIT and advanced level also, okay, we have only two theories. Those are valence bond theory and CFT, crystal field theory. Okay, LFT and MOT will be explained in higher classes. Next classes, if you choose chemistry as a major subject, in that classes I studied my LFT, MOT, I studied in my post graduation. Okay, so this is about our study. So our thing is related to, limited to these two only, valence bond theory and crystal field theory. Okay, so now we have to start with valence bond theory and in what way it try to explain the bonds present in coordination compounds. That is nothing but structures of coordination compounds. Okay, ma? Note down this, and you have to write one point, note point, that is in our 12th class our topic is limited to only these two theories. Those are valence bond theory and crystal field theory. Okay, ma? Now let us start with our first theory, that is valence bond theory. Keep the side heading VBT in bracket valence bond theory. Okay, valence bond theory tried to explain depending on hybridization. By using hybridization concept in chemical bond, okay, this valence bond theory tried to explain the structures of coordination compounds. Okay, ma? Now, according to that hybridization, what is the coordination number, which hybridization will be taking place, and what is the structure? Like a table column I will write. The table column was given by valence bond theory. After that we will see some examples and we will see the structures. Okay, ma? Let us start with the first serial number coordination number, next hybridization, next structure. Start with first one, serial number first. Coordination number 4. Coordination number 4 means ligands will be 4 in square bracket, whether it is heteroleptic or homoleptic might be. Okay, total number of ligands must be 4. That is the meaning coordination number 4. Okay, number of ligands that surrounds the central metal atom is called coordination number. We have seen in some useful terms in coordination compounds. Okay, hybridization sp3. If it is hybridization sp3, structure is tetrahedral. Next, second one, again coordination number 4, hybridization dsp2. This is a new type of hybridization which we didn't study in chemical bond. dsp2 we didn't discuss in chemical bond. Okay, especially it is undergone in coordination compounds only. That reasons, along with reasons we will see. Okay ma? Now, serial number 2, coordination number 4 means 4 ligands only. Hybridization dsp2, structure square planar. When it is sp3 hybridization, when it is dsp2 hybridization, if you get doubt like that, no problem at all. In what way we have to recognize sp3 hybridization, dsp2 hybridization also, I will say. At the time examples were taken, I will discuss with you. Okay ma? Next, third one, coordination number 6. Coordination number 6, hybridization sp3d2. Structure octahedral. Next, serial number 4. Even coordination number here also 6 only. Okay, but hybridization is d2 sp3. So both are same only. Here sp3d2, here d2 sp3. The difference also you will understand, no problem. Even structure here also octahedral. Okay, these are the common hybridizations and structures which were shown in coordination compounds, were explained by valence bond theory. Okay, like a tabular column you can write down in your classwork, all of you. Okay, coordination number 4, hybridization sp3, structure tetrahedral. Next, coordination number 4, hybridization dsp2, structure square planar. Coordination number 6, hybridization sp3d2, structure octahedral. Coordination number 6, hybridization d2 sp3. Okay, structure octahedral. Note down this like a tabular column. Now we will see examples and how to explain that all also we will see. First, example 1, I took cobalt NH36 plus 3. I took this compound, okay, cobalt NH36 plus 3. This is the complex. Okay, we can think that outside 3 Cls are there. 3 Cl minus ions are there, like counter ions, Cl3. Now, if it is added to water, what will be happen? This complex is formed as plus 3, this complex, and 3 Cl minus ions will be ionized. Correct? Because between this coordination complex and outside counter ions, which type of bond is there? Ionic bond. Okay? Now you will get clarity. What about the structure? Okay? Let us see. First, I would like to find the oxidation number of cobalt. I would like to find the oxidation number of cobalt. How? Let oxidation number of cobalt is X. How many cobalt are there? 1. 1 into X plus NH3 is neutral ligand. So charge present on NH3 is 0. 6 into 0 is equal to plus 3. Because why did I write plus 3 here? This complex is not written with counter ions. It has some charge present on it, plus 3. So this total thing is equal to plus 3. Okay ma? X is equal to plus 3. This is 0 na? So oxidation state of cobalt is plus 3. CO plus 3. Is it correct? Okay. Now I will give clarity. This complex is obtained from CONH3 6 Cl3 CONH36 Cl3. If this is added to water, it is becoming CONH36 plus 3Cl minus. This 3Cl minus hence neatly I am writing it as Cl minus, Cl minus, Cl minus. Okay, now first, how this is formed? Cobalt, I am taking cobalt. What is the electronic configuration of cobalt? Okay, in a shorthand representation I am showing that is argon, cobalt atomic number 27. Cobalt atomic number 27. Then argon 4s2 3d7. Argon 4s2 3d7. This is the neutral atom cobalt configuration. This is the neutral atom cobalt configuration. Is it okay, ma? Argon 4s2 3d7. Now we want to get CO plus 3. How cobalt is converted to CO plus 3? Cobalt is converted to CO plus 3 by losing 3 electrons. Cobalt is converted to CO plus 3. That means cobalt ion plus 3. Because this is cobalt plus 3, na? Okay. By losing 3 electrons. Other side, 3 chlorine neutral particles are there. 3 chlorine neutral particles are there. 3 electrons are lost from cobalt. This total thing is cobalt only, na? Correct, ma? But cobalt is going to lose 3 electrons. Okay, 1 electron is gained by chlorine. 1 electron is gained by chlorine. Electron is gained. Like that, it will become Cl minus, Cl minus, Cl minus, counter ions. CO plus 3, central metal atom. Between this central metal atom and this counter ions, which type of bond is present? It is formed by losing electrons and gaining electrons, na? That is ionic bond. That's why this cobalt and Cl3 are bonded with ionic bond. They can be ionized. This is first step, primary valency. Okay. We are not explained, na? Primary valency, secondary valency, like that. Okay, ma? Are you understanding, ma? Cobalt first, it will lose 3 electrons. Once again, cobalt neutral atom, it will lose 3 electrons to be formed as CO plus 3. Cobalt neutral atom, to be formed as CO plus 3, it wants to lose 3 electrons. 3 electrons individually, 1 electron gained by 1 chlorine, to be formed as Cl minus, Cl minus, Cl minus. This is primary valency, first step. First cobalt will lose the electrons, na? That's why this is primary valency. Counter ions will satisfy primary valency. Counter ions will satisfy primary valency. That is the meaning. Okay. Now secondary valency. How secondary valency is shown? Secondary valency is shown by NH3. Now we are going to discuss. That is main. Because we kept the heading structures of coordination compounds. Correct? Means in the square bracket, which type of bonds are present, that one we want to discuss. Now that one will be clear. Did you understand, ma? Now I am going to rub this one. Okay. This is cobalt electronic configuration, argon 4s2 3d7. Okay. CO plus 3 configuration I am going to write. CO plus 3 configuration is argon 3d6. From neutral atom cobalt, we have to remove 3 electrons. Out of 3 electrons, 2 electrons must be removed from outermost shell. Please don't remove all the 3 electrons from 3d7. Okay ma, if you write this configuration CO plus 3 as argon 4s2 3d4, this is wrong. This is 3 electrons are removed from 3d only, but actually it is not. If you want to remove the electrons, we have to supply energy. First that energy is going to touch outermost shell. It will not touch inner shell. Which is outermost shell? 4s. Which is outermost shell? 4s. So what is going to happen? First electrons will be removed from 4s. First electrons will be removed from 4s. 2 electrons are removed. But we have to remove 3 electrons now. After the removal of 4s2 electrons, then energy will touch 3d also. That is third shell, no problem. But without removing 4s electrons, we should not touch 3d electrons directly. Please remember this point. Okay ma? Now, electronic configuration, this is correct, this is wrong. So remember carefully. Okay? Argon 3d6. (18 plus 6 24). 3d6 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. Okay? 3d6. Now I am writing 4s0 also. Why I am writing 4s0? From electrons, 4s electrons, 2 electrons are removed. Empty orbitals are also there. I am representing the empty orbitals also. Okay ma? Next. Even fourth shell contains 4p also. But that is also empty only. 4p, how many electrons? How many orbitals are there? 3 orbitals. See, 3d, 5 orbitals. 6 electrons I wrote, okay. Now, it is going to be contained by fourth shell. S orbital is there, even p. Even 4d is also there. Fourth shell contains S, P, D, F. Till what extent we are getting use? Till that extent only I am writing here. Okay. So I am writing 4s0 empty orbital, even 4p0 empty orbital. Is it clear? Next. Up to this, did you understand everyone? Okay, now I am going to rub this one. Now what is going to be happened? See. This is the CO plus 3 configuration, but at the time of formation of bonds with NH3, this CO plus 3 is going to form bonds with NH3. Okay, what it will do? One electron present here, it will be pairing with this one. Next, one electron which is present here, this is going to be pairing with this one. Pairing with this one. Then the configuration will become CO plus 3 argon 3d6 1, 2, 3. Actually we have to write like this, but what is going to happen? This fourth electron is going to be pairing with third electron, fifth electron is going to be pairing with second electron. Then first one anyways already contained by paired electrons, even second orbital contains paired electrons, and third orbital also contains paired electrons. Violating Hund's rule. What Hund's rule will say? First electron will be entered into the orbital singly, after that only pairing will be taken place, like that we know, correct? But here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that Hund's rule is getting violated. Okay, reasons everything I will clarify. First thing is, what is happening at the time of formation of bonds? Please understand. Okay, ma? Everything I will give clarity about that one for you. No problem at all. Next. Remained with 4s0, 4p0. Four is 0, 4p 0. Okay. Now what is going to happen? These two d orbitals, one s orbital and three p orbitals will undergo d to sp3 hybridization. Two d orbitals, one s orbital, three p orbitals will undergo which hybridization? D to sp3. Totally how many orbitals are involved in hybridization? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will be intermixed with each other. Okay, and they will be regenerated into 6 orbitals, new set of orbitals which are identical in shape and size. We have studied in chemical bond first year. Okay, that is hybridization. Which type of hybridization is taken place in this CO plus 3? That is D to sp3. D to sp3 means what about the structure? Now that one I will draw. Okay, ma? See. Shall I rub this one? See towards the board once. Okay, ma? D to sp3. Now, how many empty orbitals are there? 6. 6 empty orbitals are intermixed and to form 6 empty sp3 D to sp3 hybrid orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we know how to draw this one. These 4 are in plane. This is above the plane, this is below the plane. This is only plane, na? This is above the plane, that is below the plane. Okay, these are all empty orbitals, na? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Empty orbitals. Now, NH3s, how many are there? 6 are there. Each NH3 contains one lone pair on nitrogen. Each NH3 contains one lone pair on nitrogen. So, with that lone pair, this nitrogen will form coordinate covalent bond. From here also, this nitrogen will form coordinate covalent bond. From this side also, this nitrogen will form coordinate covalent bond. This one also, this one will be involved in coordinate covalent bond. From here, this NH3 will be involved in coordinate covalent bond. And from here, NH3 is involved in coordinate covalent bond. Like this, we got octahedral structure. Okay, ma? Already we know this is also called square bipyramidal. Square bipyramidal or octahedral. Here the important thing is this structure no one is going to ask. Okay? This structure is no one is going to ask. Definitely. Because this structure already we have studied in chemical bond. How this structure is written, drawn, all these things, no one. This is the important point here. Okay? Now let us concentrate on that one. See. Which d orbitals are involved in hybridization? These d orbitals are from 3D. 3D. S orbitals and p orbitals are from 4s. 4s, 4p. This is like n-1d. This is like ns, np. Outermost orbitals, these are inner orbitals. Outer orbitals and these are inner orbitals. Which d orbitals are involved in hybridization with s and p orbitals? Inner d orbitals. That's why this is called inner orbital complex. That's why this is called inner orbital complex. Why? Inner d orbitals are involved. That's why this is called inner orbital complex. We have written the order d to sp3 because this d is belonging to inner orbital 3d. To mention that one, I wrote d to sp3. Previously, I wrote d to sp3 as well as sp3 d2. You will understand by taking next example sp3 d2 also. Okay, ma? By next example, by next class. By today's class, this example is enough, and how it is formed also we have seen. Okay, in next class you will get some more clarity. We will see further 3 examples, ma. After seeing them, everything will be clear for you. No problem at all. Okay, but one doubt I can expect from you, that is why these electrons present in this 4th orbital and 5th orbital are paired with inner orbitals. Means one electron here it is paired, one electron from here it is paired. That clarity is not given by valence bond theory. That is drawback. The clarity is not given by valence bond theory. That is the drawback. It is remained as drawback for valence bond theory. Okay, but how can they say that this is getting paid like that? You will understand in next class. But today's class, I hope this is clear for you. One more time, I will take this example and I will explain. After that, we will go for next example in next class. Okay, ma? Just what is happened here? Ma, these n-1 DC, 3D, 4S, 4P. These are called, this is example for inner orbital complex. Why? Inner 3D orbitals are involved in hybridization with 4S and 4P. Okay, that's why this is called inner orbital complex. One more name is there, and magnetic properties were also discussed here. All those things in next class I will teach, and we will continue with remaining examples. Okay, ma? By next class, maximum valence bond theory will be completed. Okay, after that we will go for crystal field theory, CFT. Okay, that is about today's class, and I hope even nomenclature of coordination compounds topic was also clear for you. Okay, even some more examples if you need I will give. First go through in-text questions. Complete the in-text questions, ma. After that we will see them. Okay. If you want, observe all of you. That is about today's class. Thank you. Thank you all.